Hi moms. Hopefully in a little while we'll be beginning to venture outside of our homes again. But as I'm sure you've already figured out, the world we'll be going back to is not the one we left a few weeks ago. For our kids especially, adjusting to the new norms is going to take a bit of time and some forethought on our behalf as their parents. If we as adults feel bewildered, just imagine how much more frightening the world can seem for our little ones at a time like this. With this in mind, here are just 2 ways we can make our kids' reintroduction to the outside world hopefully a smoother one. The first is to make space for negative emotions. In my opinion, there is one thing worse than feeling negative emotions, and that's the belief that negative feelings of sadness, anxiety, fear, anger are intrinsically bad. Sometimes without really even knowing it, we can teach our kids that it's right and good to be happy and wrong to be sad. But the truth is, we are all in the need of all our emotions to feel fully human. And we need to acknowledge and make space for the full range in us and in our children. A wise proverb says that a worry shared is a worry halved. And in this time, when negative emotions are bound to bubble up in our kids, let's make sure we're listening twice as much as we're offering advice. Let's really be intentional about creating some safe space in the next few days and weeks to hear how our kids are really feeling and to let them know that whatever that is, it's okay. Finally, as we prepare our kids for the brave new world, make sure to take some time to talk about masks. During the early days of this lockdown, I had the misfortune of having to take one of my kids out of the house. It was a medical emergency. Making our way to where we needed to go, we passed a lot of people wearing masks, and I happened to look back at my child's face, and the look on that face nearly broke me. Their eyes were so wide, and I realized in that instant how scary this must be for them, entering a foreign world where now nobody can see each other's face and smiles are covered. Wherever you and your family land on the use of masks, for the next while at least, they are going to be all around us. So rather than just expecting your kids to just deal with this, let's prepare them well beforehand. One way you can do this is to talk to your kids about why people everywhere are now wearing masks. Don't just take it for granted that they are going to understand. I plan on telling my kids that these people are actually superheroes in disguise. I plan on telling them that every time they see someone wearing a mask, that person is doing what they think is best to keep the bad germs away from the others. I'll tell them that although they can't see most of the person's face, you can bet they're smiling underneath those masks because they're the kind of people who love enough to go out of their way to protect others. I'll take this time to also tell my kids that although we're not allowed to high-five others at the moment, when we see these caped crusaders, we can give them a big thumbs up so that they know we're all in this together. That's it from me. May these last few days of lockdown be surprisingly wonderful for you and your loved ones.
If your child is not growing well, she may not be eating well and can become sickly. That's why Pediasure has 26 key nutrients to help support height, weight, and immunity. Start to see visible growth in 8 weeks. Pediasure, for growth you can be sure of.